sounds like something that you would put a can of paint in at Home Depot. And to a large degree, that's exactly what it is, except instead of a can of paint, it's a race car.
You're standing back watching your car actually make a lap at Pocono or Richmond or wherever it might be. And all it's doing is giving the guys another tool and toolbox instead of having to go to a racetrack and test.
The 7-post shake rig is a complex piece of machinery that allows a race team to simulate how a car reacts to the variable forces on a track. A 7-post consists of 7 hydraulic actuators that attach to the car. There are 4 road actuators that the wheels rest on that simulate track conditions, and 3 aero actuators that simulate aero loads and downforce. Teams are then able to alter the suspension of the car to optimize track performance.
What it does for us is different racetracks have different content. That's going to allow us to run a different setup with the end result for all the racetracks is to get the aerodynamic attitude or pitch or ride height that we want.
A couple of the simple things is just checking ground clearance and ride heights and fender clearances and things that potentially when you get to the racetrack you may go out and waste 1 or 2 runs just making sure your tires don't hit the fenders. So if that in itself were all that it would do, it would almost be worth it.
You can unload and be 1 step closer, and 1 step closer is 1 more change and 1 more opportunity to gain speed, and you put yourself in a better position. So you do unload more prepared, having spent time on the 7-post.
NASCAR teams started testing on 7-post shake rigs back in the late 90s. Now many teams like Hendrick, Gibbs, Penske, and Childress have purchased their own. This season, over 80% of the races have been won by drivers whose teams own a 7-post.
Obviously, the teams that are running good right now have all put in 7-post rigs. I think the 7-post rig is now the hot piece that you've got to have.
Our sport is full of monkey see, monkey do attitudes. We've had a 7-post for years. We had success. We've had some success last year, and now everybody thinks you got to have a 7-post to have success.
I don't think it's necessary, but I think it's important. I think it's important. Can you win without it? Yes, absolutely. Is it hard to win without it? Yes, absolutely.
At a price tag that tops out at $3.5 million, some point to 7-post shake rigs as just another example of the financial disparity between NASCAR's race teams.
In this sport, since day one, the guys with the most money have gone the fastest.
NASCAR is in a tough spot because they want to limit testing to keep the costs down and keep the sport as close as they can, and we just go and find other ways to do it. So as they limit testing, 7-posts and simulations and wind tunnels do become more important.
Things are really tighter than they have ever been before. It's just that the have and the have-nots is separated by 1/10 of a second where it used to be 2 seconds. But if we can gain some type of small advantage, it can really be really big on the racetrack.
7-post shake rig. Simulation complete.